Guess who's back? Back again. Mikey's back. Tell a friend. Hey everybody, here I am with a little special video for you guys today. And today we're going to be looking at my custom MOC work in progress ship that I have named the Saint Mary, which is a modified, original version of the official set, the Silent Mary. And we'll be getting into it shortly right after this introduction. So here we go. Now before I go any further, let me just say, if you like this video or any other videos on my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. So let's get down to it. Now before I go any further, let me just say that this is very much a work in progress. It is by no means complete at all. This has been a challenge of a MOC, to say the least. Part of that reasoning is when because down here, this section here is essentially very reminiscent, almost identical to the Imperial Flagship. I made some modifications, changed it up a little bit, color scheme and stuff. To make this bottom section, I basically took the instructions from the Imperial Flagship set and figured out what I needed and built that almost to T, because to create the modular type design where you can remove the top from the bottom, the Imperial Flagship nailed it. And it's hard for me to say that any Lego ship can do a better job at that with having the traditional hull on the bottom. But incorporating that with the Technic design that the Silent Mary set has was a pretty hard challenge. And that's why traditionally when you see other people doing mods and MOCs of the Silent Mary, they're typically going for more of the brick built hull as opposed to the actual hull type pieces. And I completely see now why they have been doing it that way, because it is very, very challenging in order to do that. And it's one of my first major and original MOCs of my own. If you've been watching my channel, you'll know that my wife has done quite a bit. She's the big MOCist of the family. But this is like my first real baby, if you will. And I by no means claim to be an amazing expert MOCist. I'm just doing the best with what I can. Now to do the top section, the easiest and best way to do it, in my opinion, is to just straight up get 2 Silent Mary sets. Yes, that's not cheap. It's gonna put you back quite a bit in the wallet, but you will have enough with what they get with 2 sets in order to get rid of the hobbled ghost ship look and make it look more like it's new and an empowered ship. So that's part of the reason there. And then because I use like a lot of the extra pieces down on the hull piece as well, because you just get so many. So I didn't have to do a lot of bricklinking, extra pieces there. As for the hull, yeah, I had to bricklink all the hull pieces, and even some of the larger like brown 1x bricks. I bought a bunch of extra of those just to have those on hand. As you can see, everybody likes talking about cannons and stuff. I left the small cannons up top here because I'm not against having the multiple different sizes for it. And for this middle row here, it actually, I retained the original Silent Mary type design where you can just lift it up and I can put the smaller cannons there also. So we'll have 2 rows of the smaller type design. And then on the bottom here is where the larger cannons are going to go. So, which, when I open it up and show you, you'll see I don't have any of the larger cannons yet. That is one thing I still need to buy for this thing. So it'll have 8 of the big cannons, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 30 of the medium-sized cannons, and then it's got these real small ones on all of the turrets. And as for minifigures, when I originally designed this ship, I was gonna go for more of an original, you know, just kind of create my own like Spanish green coat type fleet for it. And I really haven't put much time, money, or effort into the minifigures that are on it now. They're just what I had in my collection at my disposal at the time that I put them on there. But to be honest with you guys, I watched Dead Men Tell No Tales, you know, a couple of times recently. We actually bought it on DVD, and so I was watching it, and I'm like, oh, I can't help but think that it might be fun to actually do an undead Salazar, because he's still, you know, Spanish, and you know, so he could fit in with my green coats in my world. And so so you guys, you know, tell me what you think. Should I try to do an undead Salazar and crew, or should I just kind of go with my own unique minifigures? You know, I look forward to seeing what you guys think there. As for the actual top hull of the ship, you will see that as I'm showing some still images and stuff here to mix in with the video, I made some different changes than was on it originally. Like I put a second bell in the back there, and I don't know that I'm gonna keep that long term or not. To be honest with you guys, the reason I put it there is my son loves Jake and the Neverland Pirates, and the ship Bucky that's in that has a bell back there, so that's why I put that there originally. But you know, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it there, but of course I kept the bell up there that it was originally supposed to have. And then the figurehead, you know, the front figurehead on the ship, I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do there yet. I haven't purchased one as of yet. All I did was take these gold wings and put it on there because it kind of is a good alternative to the black ones that are on the actual Silent Mary. As for the rigging, I only have this one up now. I was working on having one design there, but the way the front hull it kind of turns and bends in right there made it challenging to put the rigging on. So I ran into a little bit of an issue, and then to be completely honest, I stepped away and kind of stopped thinking about it for a while. But the rigging that's on it now, it actually goes to my brick bounty ship, so this is not going to stay there. Again, that's more pieces that I need to buy on Bricklink for this thing. One thing that I do get comment on a lot, and I want to see, again, what you guys think. I'll be showing some of the still images of it to give some more input, is the front crow's nest. Now, this part here, that's all that I added, that is not on the original ship, the Silent Mary. To my knowledge, I'd have to look at it again, but I think that was something that I just kind of improvised there. It's a little bit of a challenge on what to do with this front sail like that. My wife has commented that, out of everything, that's the thing that she probably likes the least. So maybe I need to shorten it, or maybe, adding another flag up top there. I don't know. But that was, so I'm still kind of, contemplating exactly what I want to do there. All that I know that I for sure want to do is I didn't want to do the traditional triangle sail on the front of the ship, because I have so many that have that design that I thought it'd be fun to have one that's just different. Besides, it's got the triangle sail right there on the back. Now, as for the sails themselves, I actually purchased them from a Bricklink seller that makes custom sails. And being as that, at the time I purchased the sails, I hadn't decided what I was gonna actually do with the sails. I know I didn't want to put the Silent Mary sails on it. That would just make it look like another Silent Mary. So these were the best that I found, and I am a religious person, and Catholic more specifically, and Mary, she's a big part of our religion, and being that the original one is the Silent Mary, that's why I went with the Saint Mary. And then I found these sails. I knew I wanted white, or possibly green. I definitely didn't want blue or red. And I saw these with the crosses on them, and I'm like, that's kind of appropriate. And all along I was kind of going for like a Spanish look, and and historically that is quite accurate with them as well. So you guys tell me what you think. Do you like the sails that I chose for this thing? Again, I bought it on a Bricklink seller, under customs, and so because I'm sure that's where somebody's gonna ask is, where'd you get the sails? Well, that's where I got the sails. And he had quite an amazing assortment. Now, as for the material of them, it is quite good. I wouldn't say it's quite Lego quality, but it's pretty good nonetheless. I do recommend checking them out, and maybe I can track down this seller and put a link in the description. If I don't shoot me. Maybe I'll edit it in later, but let's see if I can do that for you guys, because he does good work. And that's one of the things about Lego community. If you find somebody that does unique things, it's good to pay it forward. So people watch this video, go check him out. He might have other things that you enjoy. Now let's take a look at the inner hull section. Now, because of the way my setup is these days, I'm using all still images for the inner hull section. So unfortunately, I can't show you guys how exactly it comes apart. Besides, it's not the cleanest separation, even though it retains the modular type design. I'll be the first to admit it's not nearly as clean as like the Imperial Flagship is by comparison, but at least you can get it off and access the inner hull. And by looking at these images, you can see that it's very reminiscent of what's in the Imperial Flagship. I did make a couple of small minor changes to it, like this ship, for example. It doesn't have a proper captain's quarters, and it's one thing that I will say Lego gave you an out to try and do one. And when I was looking at it and trying to figure out a way to do it based upon the way the set was designed, I was not finding a way to do it that where I would actually be happy with it, or that it would be functional or usable in any way, shape, or form. So being that the bottom hull section has basically 3 rooms, the big main room, and then one in the front, one in the back, I made the one in the rear the captain's quarters. So this ship does have a captain's quarters, but it's just at a little bit different spot than you typically expect out of a Lego ship. But it still retains one nonetheless. And again, it's still very much a work in progress, and it's just how it is for now. And then in the front section, I did place, this is where the brig is going to be. I would have to check my Imperial Flagship again, but I know in that one, the bottom hull section, it had a brig and a cooking, the cook station. Well, I'm dropping the cook's, kitchen, and this one's going to have the captain's quarters and the brig will be in the front. And again, as you can see, that I don't have any cannons or much going on in the main section, but again, I will be changing that in the future. And then here's some more still images of to get a good 360 type view of it. So hopefully you guys can get a good understanding and a good idea of what she's all about. So what does everybody think? Do you like it? Put down in the comment section. Again, I appreciate any constructive criticism, any ideas. I'm still really on the fence exactly what I'm gonna do with her. Am I gonna kind of leave her as is and just make it better, or am I gonna try to completely redesign her? It's a tough question, and that's part of the reason I had to step away from it, is because I hit a couple of roadblocks, and working on MOCs takes quite a bit more brain power than just building a Lego set, or even kind of free building. And especially one like this where you're basically taking a square peg and trying to attach a round hole to it. But nonetheless, I think she looks good. I would definitely say, that she's more of a model right now than I would say like it retains the play features of some of the other Lego ships, like the official ships. They do a good job incorporating play features. But having said that, she's definitely more sturdy than the official Silent Mary set. Oh, and then one final thing, this rear section back here, I'll swing her around real quick, and I'll show the still picture of the rear again. But this rear section down here, I put that on there on purpose because I think I wanted to put a dinghy there somehow, some way. Again, that's something I haven't quite figured out fully. But the Skull Eye schooner, the Lego pirate ship from like 91, 92, it had a place to put the dinghy on the back of the ship, and I always thought that was a cool design. And so, as I'm looking at the pieces that I had at my availability, I was like, I'll do something like that with her in the end, before she's all said and done. But anyways, everybody, that is my video for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys all again soon. Have a blessed day. Thanks, everybody.